Meeting to order, if you would please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer, Senator Howell, Senator Webb, Representative Herron,
Here.
Representative Petrie,
Here.
Representative Thomas,
Present.
Co-Chair Girdler, Chair Frazier Gordon.
Here, thank you. We have a quorum, and first off, I'd like to get a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Motion by Senator Howell, second by Representative Thomas. I know, I was so close. Does any member object? Thank you. Catherine, you may report the information items, please.
Pursuant to CARA's 45.812.1 through their fiscal agents, the Kenton County, Meade County, and Metcalfe County school districts, which did not need additional tax levies to pay debt service, reported upcoming debt issues to finance new projects. The Grant County School District reported an upcoming refunding issue. Pursuant to House Bill 1, Eastern Kentucky University reported cost revisions to 4 projects.
Thank you, Catherine. See, Janice Thomas is here in person to present agenda item 4, 3 projects requiring action and 4 projects requiring no action. I'd like a motion and a second to roll the 3 action items into one roll call vote. Motion by Senator Howell. Second by Senator Girdler. Would you please begin with the 3 action items, and then after we vote on those, you can continue with the remaining projects.
Thank you, and I appreciate you rolling the projects. Good afternoon. My name is Janice Thomas, Deputy State Budget Director. As you mentioned, I have 7 projects to present, and I will start with the 3 action items. First is the Education and Labor Cabinet, Kentucky Educational Television, KET Next Generation Conversion Project Amendment, and the amount of $1.5 million, bringing the total to $13 million, funded 100% from the American Rescue Plan Elementary and Secondary Schools Emergency Relief Funds. This project was previously approved in September of 21 in the amount of $11.5 million. This project will help ensure the technical reliability of the network center infrastructure by replacing failing and end-of-life equipment and providing updates to bring it up to industry standards. The authority is pursuant to KRS 45760, subsection 7. The next item is the General Government Department of Military Affairs DMA Construct Jackson Field Maintenance Shop Project in the amount of $15,674,564, 100% federal funds using the Department of Defense military construction dollars reimbursable per the Military Construction Cooperative Agreement. This new 27,910 square foot field maintenance shop will be built in Breathitt County. The new facility will provide maintenance services for military vehicles used in Jackson, Prestonburg, and Hazard armories, and will replace the existing Jackson Field Maintenance Shop and be relocated to new property not in a flood zone, since the current field office maintenance shop has been flooded twice in the past 4 years. So this is a much-needed project. Next is the Post-Secondary Education Kentucky State University Blazer Library renovation in the amount of $1.7 million. This project is also 100% federal funds using Title III federal funds. The Board of Regents approved the project November 28th of 23, and the Council of Post-Secondary Education Finance Committee approved it January 19th of 24. The project will replace windows, repair exterior deterioration, replace flooring, and update finishes. And with that being the summary of the first 3 projects, I request approval, and we'll answer questions.
Okay, thank you very much. And I have a question with Senator Funky Fromeyer.
Do we have someone with post-secondary that you want to come speak to those? Jennifer Linton with Kentucky State University will speak on those.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Linton. I'm the Director of Capital Planning and Facilities Management for Kentucky State University. Title III are federal funds that the university is eligible for, and the intent for the funds is to strengthen the institution and to increase capacities for students. So they're federal funds that Kentucky State's eligible for, but they have to be related to improving opportunities for the students. So Blazer Library, again, has not had a major renovation since it was built, and so this is going to modernize. It's going to replace windows that are leaking. It's going to do new flooring, fix some issues on the outside of the building to make it a better library for the students.
Does that require matching?
No, no matching. No, it's 100% federal. It's 1.7 million is the total for the project. But there's no match. It's 100% federal.
Okay. Thank you. Seeing no further questions, do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Senator Howell. Second. Senator Webb. Action items are approved. Would you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Yes. Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes. Okay, would you please continue with the 4 remaining projects?
Yes, I will. The next 4 projects are pool projects in excess of $1 million. The authorities pursuant to the Budget Bill Part 2, subsection 4. The first 2 of the 4 projects are within the Justice and Public Safety Cabinet, starting with the Kentucky State Police Information Services Center HVAC replacement project in the amount of $4,585,700 funded from the 22-24 maintenance pool. This project is to replace the entire HVAC system at the Kentucky State Police Information Services Center that houses critical statewide services such as open records, intelligence, concealed deadly weapon licenses, computer technologies, the sex offender registry, criminal background information as a repository for criminal case reports and records. All heating and cooling units, ductwork, and control systems will be replaced with new equipment that will be designed for the unique type of commercial facility that is constructed of 100% glass exterior walls. The entire drop ceiling will also be replaced, including new energy efficient lighting. The new system will be designed to address the excessive humidity in the building. This has led to poor air quality, and this project will fix that issue. Next is the Department of Corrections KCIW Lonnie Watson HVAC repairs and replacement project in the amount of $3,439,000 funded from the 22-24 maintenance pool. The Kentucky Correctional Institute for Women, Lonnie Anderson building, Lonnie Watson, I have no idea where I came up with Anderson. Lonnie Watson was built in 1990. The dorm is being used for medical and houses 100 inmates. Ductwork and control systems will be updated and tied to the building automated system. Additional details provided in your packet on this project. The scope will do 1 week. It'll be scoped 1 week at a time, so the inmates, there will be no interruption in the operations of the facility. While they're working on one area, they'll move the inmates and then move them back as the work is completed. The final 2 projects are funded with are from the Kentucky Community and Technical College Systems, funded from the 22-24 Asset Preservation Pool. Each of these projects were approved by the KCTCS Board of Regents and by the Council of Post-Secondary Education and satisfied the 15% match requirement. First is the Kentucky Community and Technical College Henderson Community College Mechanical Equipment and Controls Project, totals $1.5 million and is funded with $1,304,400 in bond funds and $195,600 in restricted funds. This project will replace boilers and chillers and upgrading the building control systems throughout the campus. The last project is the Kentucky Community and Technical College Renovate Pineville Campus, Southeast Kentucky CTC project for $1.4 million. It's funded with $1,217,440 in bond funds and $182,560 in restricted funds. Due to the nursing program being moved to the new Educational Alliance Center in Middlesboro, this project will renovate space at the Pineville campus to accommodate new programming in telemedicine, physical therapy, occupational therapy, radiography, and substance abuse counseling. And this concludes my presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Seeing no questions from members, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you, and one last comment. Happy birthday.
All right, next on the agenda is a lease report from the Finance and Administration Cabinet. Natalie Bronner is here remotely to present Agenda Item 5, and there will be 2 new leases requiring action. Do I have a motion and a second to roll those into one roll call vote? Motion by Senator Howe. Second by Senator Webb. Okay, looks like we're good to go. And Ms. Bronner, you may begin.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Natalie Bronner, Director of the Division of Real Properties. The first item is PR 5717, and it's being reported pursuant to KRS 56823 since the annual cost exceeds $100,000. This new lease is for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services in Grant County, which resulted from the competitive bid process outlined in KRS 56803, with only one proposal received from Tobin Ltd. Per KRS 56806.2, the respondent cited a technical error in its original best and final submittal, which was corrected, and per KRS 56803 15B, negotiations resulted in some floor plan revisions. This allowed to utilize more of the existing building layout while continuing to meet all agency requirements. The proposed new lease is for 7,387 square feet at an annual rental rate of $17.15 per square foot, including water and sewer, which is $126,687.04 annually through June 30th, 2031. Do you want me to go ahead?
So is that just for the Grant County lease?
That's correct.
Okay, yes, please proceed with the Fleming County.
Certainly. The second item, PR 5768, is also for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services in Fleming County, and it's being reported pursuant to KRS 56823, which is also an annual cost exceeding $100,000. This lease resulted from the competitive bid process outlined in KRS 56803. With two proposals received, the agency has recommended acceptance of the lowest proposal, which was submitted by Robert Fowler Construction. The proposed lease is for 7,025 square feet of new office space and 43 reserved paid parking spaces at an annual rental rate of $25.68 per square foot, excluding utilities, which is $180,402 annually through June 30th, 2031. Any questions?
Senator Funky Frommeyer?
So if I am reading this correct, the county average per square foot is $9.18, and we're entering into a lease for $25.68?
That's correct. So probably very likely, they're very limited amount of lease. You're talking about Fleming County, is that correct?
Yeah, but we could reflect on the other one being 70% above the $10 average square foot. And who's responsible for negotiating these leases?
So both of these were advertised projects. In the instance of Fleming County, there were two responses, both new construction. So that rate is based on the fact that it is new construction.
So then where does the $9.18 average come in? It's
Well,
averaging.
so that's the current average without this lease included.
That seems astounding. I'm not quite sure why we would agree to such an increase.
So again,
And
this
I mean,
is
I
a
lease
complete.
an improved space, but not at 30%. Yeah, I mean, that's 300% more.
So again, this is a complete new construction building that's being built.
That's astounding.
Okay, Senator Webb?
If I could just comment, some of the challenges in these rural areas, I'm very familiar with Fleming County. It's an agriculture community. They do have a small hospital, and they have actually lost some industry, but they really don't have the space base, I guess you would call it, and even towns in East Kentucky don't primarily have those spaces available. A lot of the buildings, including the downtowns, are older, vacant, decrepit buildings, I think, is indicated by their existing. I've been to this building, existing place they're living, or they're working, and it's a low rate for a building that would reflect that. I think you've got limitation of availability, and here you've got new construction at a time where costs are out the roof, and if we're going to have a presence, a state presence there, it's just probably going to have to pay a little more in some of these rural areas, and you know, I know I'm contacted a lot about people wanting certain size buildings or whatever, and even Grayson, and we're growing. And it's hard. It's a real challenge to find square footage in some place that would be move-in ready, or even the property now to build. And so that's just, you know, a snapshot of where you are in some of these rural communities.
Thank you. Representative Petrie? Oh. Okay. Very good. Seeing no further questions, do I have a motion and a second to approve the 2 new leases? Motion by Senator Howe, second by Senator Webb. Would you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Fromeyer. No. Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes. 2 new leases are approved. Thank you, Ms. Bronner.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we have a report from the Office of Financial Management. We have Sandy Williams also remotely. She'll be presenting agenda items 6, 5 loans, and 24 grants. Have a motion and a second to roll them into one roll call vote. Motion by Senator Girdler. Second by Senator Howe. And Ms. Williams, you may begin.
Thank you, Chair Frazier Gordon and members of the committee. I'm Sandy Williams, the Executive Director with the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Pursuant to KRS 224A100, the authority will present 5 loans, 24 grants for the committee's review today. First up, our Clean Water State Revolving Fund, A23-014 for the City of Danville. The City of Danville's Fund A loan in the amount of $5,626,195 is for their Clark's Run Trunk Line Improvements Project Phase 2. This project includes construction of 9,200 linear feet of 24 and 27-inch trunk line sewers and replacement of the Woods Drive Storage Lagoon. This will be a 20-year loan with a 0.5% interest rate and was approved at the February 1st KIA board meeting. Our second loan is from our Governmental Agencies Fund, Fund C24-001, Barkley Lake Water District. Barkley Lake Water District's Fund C loan in the amount of $500,000 is for their automated meter reading water meter replacement project. The project will replace approximately 4,000 existing water meters with AMR technology. This will be a 2-year loan with a 1.75% interest rate and was approved at the February 1st KIA board meeting. The next 3 loans are from our Drinking Water State Revolving Fund program, F22-028 for the City of Cynthiana. This is an increase. The City of Cynthiana's loan increase of $2,600,600 is for their industrial park water tank and water treatment plant upgrade project. The original loan was approved by the KIA board on May 5th, 2022. The increase is due to bids coming in higher than anticipated. The increase will bring the total loan amount to $5,971,313. The original terms and conditions will remain the same. This will be a 30-year loan with a 0.25% interest rate and was approved at the February 1st KIA board meeting. Loan F23-003S to the City of Danville. The City of Danville's Fund F loan in the amount of $1,240,000 is for their Danville waterline replacement project. The project will replace approximately 56,227 linear feet of older cast iron problem lines, particularly those with the potential for lead and copper service connections from the main. The project will also help reduce water loss. This will be a 20-year loan with a 1.25% interest rate, was approved at the February 1st KIA board meeting. And the last loan of the day is F24-001S, the City of Lebanon for the benefit of Lebanon Waterworks. The City of Lebanon's Fund F loan in the amount of $15,071,745 is for the benefit of Lebanon Waterworks and their Lebanon Waterworks 2023 Improvements Project. The project consists of major improvements at the water treatment plant that will improve water quality, construction of a new elevated water storage tank, replacement of approximately 50,000 linear feet of cast iron water main and service lines, and improvements to the raw water intake at Fagan Branch Reservoir. This will be a 30-year loan with a 0.5% interest rate and was approved at the February 1st KIA board meeting. Moving on to the KIA administered grants, today we have 24 grants to present to the committee. From round 1 of the Cleaner Water Program, Senate Bill 36 of the 2021 session, there are 8 grants. The sewer grants consist of 1 allocation from the supplemental pool and 2 reallocations from the county allocation pool. The water grants consist of 1 allocation from the supplemental pool and 4 reallocations from the county allocation pool. Moving to round 2 of the Cleaner Water Program, from House Bill 1 of the 2022 session, there are 14 grants. The sewer grants consist of 2 allocations from the supplemental pool and 1 reallocation from the county allocation pool. The water grants, there have 7 allocations from the supplemental pool and 4 reallocations from the county allocation pool. And last but not least, we have 2 line item grants, again from House Bill 1 of the 22 session. One is to the City of Wilder for the Fredericks Landing Wastewater Project, and the other is Georgetown Municipal Water and Sewer Service for the Paynes Depot Road Water Storage Tank and Distribution System Improvements Project. And Representative Fraser Gordon, I'm happy to say that one of the projects I believe is in your district, and that concludes my report today.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Williams. Any questions from members? Seeing no further questions, do I have a motion and a second to approve the 29 Kentucky Infrastructure Authority? Motion by Senator Howell, second by Senator Funky Fromeyer. Would you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Yes. Senator Howell. Aye. Senator Webb. Representative Herron.
Aye.
Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes, the KIA transactions are approved, and thank you again, Ms. Williams, for being here.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda, moving along, is the Cabinet for Economic Development. Only see 1K.
You're correct. My partner's under the weather today. You know, this fun weather we are having.
There are 3 Economic Development Fund grants, and do I have a motion and a second to roll them into one roll call vote? Motion by Senator Howell, second by Senator Girdler. No objections. Okay, you may begin. Thank you.
Thank you. Today, the first one is our first KPDI project under the round 2. We've started those approvals this year, so we're happy to talk about the round 2 projects. We have Campbell County Fiscal Court on behalf of the Campbell County Economic Progress Authority was approved by KEDFA for a $1,999,908 KPDI EDF grant project to assist with the acquisition and development of a speculative site in southern Campbell County. Matching funds are provided through local funds, and the total investment for the projects is $3,999,816. Because this is KPDI, it was required to be identified by an independent site selection consultant as having the potential for future economic development or location of an economic development project. And then the next 2 are more for our traditional economic development fund projects, not KPDI. So the first one is the City of Jeffersontown on behalf of Papa John's USA Incorporated was approved by KEDFA for a $550,000 Economic Development Fund grant. The funds will be used for building improvements with an estimated investment of $6 million, and the company will be required to retain 420 full-time jobs in Jefferson County, paying an average hourly wage of $42.79, including benefits. This is a performance-based project, and disbursement of eligible proceeds will occur annually only after compliance is confirmed. The next project we have is Logan County Fiscal Court on behalf of the Logan Industrial Development Authority. Was approved by KEDFA for a $1,101,400 Economic Development Fund grant. These funds are going to be used for engineering, design, and construction of a roadway into the West Industrial Park with an estimated investment of $1.2 million. The project will assist the location of a current economic development project that will not be able to proceed without the addition of this access road into the park. Additional support for the project is in the form of a local cash grant and repaid economic development bond funds. Grant proceeds will be dispersed on a reimbursement basis for this project. All three projects were recommended by the Cabinet Secretary for Economic Development and concurred from Secretary of Finance Cabinet, and they were all approved by KEDFA at its January 25th meeting and approved as well by the State Property and Buildings Commission at its meeting on February 13th. We respectfully request approval.
Thank you. Any questions from members? Senator Funky Fromeyer.
So of course I get excited about this since you've mentioned Campbell County. But when we look at that 50-50 matching, that comes close to about a $4 million investment in Campbell County in particular. How will we know, or when will we know, what sort of results we've seen from that Kentucky investment of $1.99908 million?
So what will happen is once approved after today, then they will be eligible to proceed with that purchase. And so then we can go through the disbursement, and they will submit disbursement requests to us, and we can do that monthly until they've utilized the full roughly $2 million. And then after that, we send out notices to each of these projects that are approved under the KPDI as well as the PDI pilot program annually, typically around July at the end of our fiscal year, asking them for a status as to has a project been located there, so we can keep track of that and report the results. So under the pilot program, it takes about another year or two after the investment for the potential location of an economic development project. Some worked quicker, some take a little bit longer. Does that help? Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. Seeing no further questions, can I get a motion and a second to approve the Senator Funky Fromeyer and a second by Representative Thomas? Would you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Fromeyer.
Yes.
Senator Howell. Senator Webb.
Aye.
Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes. Thank you very much for being here. Next up, Mr. Barrow is taking his place, and he's here in person to present agenda items 6C and D, 3 new debt issues, as well as 4 school district debt issues with SFCC participation, which require action, and a prior debt issue that requires no action. So could we get a motion and a second to roll the 3 new debt issues into one roll call vote? Motion by Senator Howe, second by Senator Funky Fromeyer. And you may begin with your 3 new debt issues, please.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for letting me anchor what's presumably a long day. The first transaction, Morehead State University. This is to construct a new residence hall that was a House Bill 1 of 2020 regular session, as well as refund 2 series of bonds, the 12s and the 13s, for economic savings. The new money piece is about $38.8 million, with the 2 refundings generated an estimated $287,000 net present value, which is on a percent basis just over 4.6 estimated. The transaction's competitive. The financing team's in your packet. Just to say a statement or two, there are quite a few university transactions that come through here. Although these are consistent with others, there is uniqueness in a couple of aspects. This is 30-year debt. We have seen numerous universities for long-term assets, a residence hall, arguably 40 or 50-year usable life, extended out to not put an undue burden on the student on the front end to be able to service that debt. internally through charging housing fees extended out, again, so you don't put undue burden, and it's a longer duration that's more manageable for the student. There is a slight deferment through 2033 of principal, and that is to wrap or aggregate debt service for the university to be approximately $9 million. That is a ask of the university from a budgetary standpoint, and then there's capacity that opens thereafter. So just wanted to note those two on the Moorhead transaction. Moving forward, the Kentucky Housing Corporation, this is a typical multifamily that we present every month. Conduit financing, no extension of credit of the Commonwealth or the corporation. The debt is serviced by the developer. There's information about the developer in the packet. But it does receive state private activity bonds to allow them to issue this tax exempt. It's private placement with anticipated net proceeds of about $5 million. Finally, the last item for approval is the State Property and Buildings Commission. This is transaction 130. There are kind of two components of this. There is a $250 million new money. That's to finance various projects as cited in the documents we submitted, various budget bills. The second component is an optional tender. So just backing up, typically when bonds are issued in the market, certainly when we do it, we issue paper with a 10-year call. That is a call at the Commonwealth's discretion, meaning at a certain point in the future, we can call that in just like you would refinance your home loan. We call that in, we exercise those call features in all the refundings we present. Then we issue new debt and pay off the old bondholders. That's a common thing in the market. Due to current interest rates, a very common thing in the market is an optional tender. That is at the discretion of the investor, where we invite investors to bring paper back to us and we pay them off. It's a complicated formula, but we essentially pay them off, make them whole. We issue new debt to do that, and we focus on aggregate savings. We've done this before successfully with the Louisville Bridge, and we have also tried to tender previously. It's not a bad thing because you might as well try to save money before with state prop. But these are getting executed very frequently in the market. So that is what you see in the Series B column. There's an estimated of $1.34 million on a 5% net present value savings. And then that is, just to mention, there's three series, 117C, 122, and 125. The key economic savings for these is that is taxable paper in the market. We are going to tender that in and then issue tax exempt. So there's typically between 100 basis points and 201 to 2% benefit to the Commonwealth, lower cost of capital. So we're estimating about 15% participation. So if anybody holds those bonds, please turn them back in. We would love to get the participation as high as possible. Conservative estimate about 15% of those three series of debt. And again, there's information about the financing team in the packet. So those are the action items.
Okay. Any questions from members? Okay. Can I get a motion and a second, please? Motion by Senator Howell. Second by Senator Webb. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Funky Frommeyer. Yes. Senator Howell. Senator Webb. No. Okay. Representative Herron. Yes. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes. Thank you. The three new debt issues are approved, and you can please continue with the previous debt issue, which requires no action.
Yes, as stated, information item, Kentucky Housing Corporation. This is not a multifamily. This is a debt issuance to the corporation for funding for mortgage financing for first-time and low-income and moderate-income Kentucky home buyers. This transaction was priced retail January 9th. Institutions came in on the 10th and was closed on the 31st of January. It was a fixed-rate transaction with a blend of taxable and tax-exempt. There's information about the financing team, but it basically raised just over $152 million for that purpose.
Okay. Seeing no questions, before continuing with the four SFCC debt issues, which require action, I'd like to also get a motion and a second to roll them into one roll call vote. Motion by Senator Howell. Second by Senator Webb. And you may begin.
Yes, so we typically look at these in both new money as well as refunding. So there's three new money transactions. in the packet. The SFCEC participation is minimal, just at 2.6%, with the balance 97.4 being local supported debt service, for an estimated par of 31.4 million. There's no tax increase necessary to fund any of the new money transactions. And then moving to the Allen County is the only refunder for consideration today. It's just under 20% SFCC, with just a little bit over 80% local tax supported. The net present value that exceeds, on an estimated basis, $200,000. No taxes necessary to fund the refunding either. And we do respectfully request approval.
Okay, any questions? Can I get a motion and a second to approve the 4 SFCC debt issues? Motion by Senator Howe, second by Senator Webb. And could you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler. Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes, the debt issues are approved. Thank you, Ryan,
Thank
for
you.
being here. And now this is all the items on the agenda, so we'll announce that the next meeting is slated for Tuesday, March 19th, upon adjournment of both chambers, with Senator Girdler chairing. Have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.